guys, it's Lindsay from thetoastedpinenut.com. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am so pumped because I'm super tahini obsessed, if you can't tell. I make dressings, I make dips, I make cookies, I make tahini brownies. I am all about the tahini lately. A couple weeks ago I made a tahini banana bread. You guys went crazy for it. Everyone that tried it on Instagram really loved it too. So I thought, let's do a whole video dedicated to 3 different easy, healthy tahini recipes. So before I get into the recipes, if you're liking the sound of tahini, hit that thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe because I never want you to miss a recipe. So let me tell you a little bit about these tahini recipes. First up, we're making tahini crunchy Bliss balls. They're little energy bites. I'm basing this off of a peanut butter crunch ball that I have on my blog. I'm linking to all the recipes below. Minimal ingredients, like 5 or 6. I'm using puffed quinoa for that crispy crunch to it. If you have puffed rice, that works too. You want to think like Rice Krispies, that kind of texture. Puffed quinoa, I love it. I use it in all types of desserts, from crunch bars to energy bites like these, or you could just use it as cereal. So that's gonna be the first recipe. The second recipe is going to be a healthy spring salad with arugula, some purple cabbage in there. I'm baking some spicy tempeh cubes, some chickpeas, sun-dried tomatoes, and we are going to make a tahini dressing, super simple tahini dressing. It's gonna be tahini, lemon, some sweetness, and some oil. So easy to whip together if you're in a pinch and you need a delicious dressing. This tahini lemon dressing will not fail you. And lastly, we are making my world famous tahini cookies. I'm just kidding, they're not world famous, I don't think, but I like to say it because it makes them sound super important and fun. They are world famous to me. They're crispy on the outside, they're pillowy and moist and fudgy almost on the inside. I am completely obsessed with them. These cookies are top on my list. Like, top, you guys. I mean, chocolate chip cookies always have a special place in my heart. They're always gonna be my #1. But tahini cookies are like right there, right there. So anyway, like I said, I'm linking to all the recipes below. I hope you make them, I hope you love them. So without further ado, let's make some tahini recipes.
All right, so starting off with our tahini crunch balls, we are adding 1/2 cup of tahini into our bowl, along with 1/3 cup of agave nectar. You can use coconut nectar, honey, or maple syrup if you prefer. And then we're just gonna whisk this together until it gets nice and combined, and then adding our almond flour, plus some sea salt. Whisk that again. I found it easiest actually to use a rubber spatula to get it nice and combined, so I eventually switched over. And then you're gonna add 1/2 cup of puffed quinoa. You could also use like Rice Krispies or puffed rice. I'm also adding some sesame seeds to the mix, but you want the consistency of like Rice Krispies. Sometimes it can be a more puffy, not as crunchy texture, but I find this texture more satisfying, something super crispy and crunchy. And then you're gonna just roll it into balls. It's as simple as that. Put it on a piece of parchment paper so you can easily slide a cutting board under and place it in the fridge just to chill for a few minutes. So go through it all, roll them into balls, and then pop them in the fridge for about 10 to 20 minutes, and then you get this delicious, crunchy tahini ball. All right, so next up we are going to do an oven-baked tempeh, spicy tempeh salad with a tahini drizzle dressing. So the first thing we're gonna do is just cut our tempeh into cubes. So I'm doing about 1/2 inch cubes. I'm not really good at measurements, but I imagine this is about 1/2 inch cubes. And then place them into a bowl. This is just gonna be a mixing bowl. We're gonna add some avocado oil, some sea salt, some garlic powder, some smoked paprika, some chili powder, and some ginger, ground ginger, and we're just gonna toss that until it is nice and coated. Once the tempeh is coated, just place it on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, and then we're gonna roast it at 400 for about 15 to 20 minutes. Then in a separate bowl, you're going to add your tahini. This is 1/3 cup tahini with 1 lemon juiced. I have a super juicy lemon. It was a little lemon, but really juicy, which I loved. So 1 lemon plus 1 tablespoon avocado oil, 1 tablespoon of sweetness. I'm using agave nectar, but you can always sub in honey or maple syrup. This is the consistency for now. Right before you drizzle it on your salad, you're gonna add a little bit of water so it gets a little bit more drizzly. So here in our bowl, we are assembling our salad. So we have some arugula, some purple cabbage, some drained and and rinsed chickpeas, sun-dried tomatoes chopped up, and then we're adding that delicious oven roasted tempeh on top. So I added a couple tablespoons of water so that the dressing gets nice and drizzly. I just like it a little bit more, adding some sesame seeds on top. And there you have it. It was super delicious. Lots of fun flavors and a delicious spring salad. Last up, we are making my favorite tahini cookies. Oh my goodness, they are so good. So we're adding tahini to our bowl along with agave nectar, honey, maple syrup, coconut nectar works, a splash of vanilla, and an egg. I know I'm gonna get this question. I have never tried it with a flax egg, but feel free to experiment. I think it'll work. I think it'll be good, so give it a whirl. Then you're gonna whisk it all together until it is nice and combined, and then add in a cup and a half of blanched almond flour, along with baking soda, sea salt. Whisk that up. I found it easiest to switch over to a rubber spatula and just kind of fold it all together, get it nice and mixed. You can also use a food processor if that's easier. So then you want to prep your sesame seed bowl, so just pour some sesame seeds into a nice shallow bowl. I'm using an ice cream scooper for some bigger cookies, and roll a cookie dough ball in the sesame seeds so it gets nice and coated. Then roll it in between your hands so that it's a nice and smooth ball. Place it on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, and then once you have completed all the balls, gently press it down with your hands and bake them for 10 minutes at 350. And they look crinkly and crisp on the outside. You bite into them and they are super chewy and almost fudgy and just moist and delicious.
Alright guys, there you have it. 3 deliciously fun and easy tahini recipes. I hope you make them. I hope you love them. And if you do, you have to let me know what you think. I would love to hear about your creations. If you like this video, if you like these tahini recipes, give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe because I would love for you to be a part of my YouTube fam. I am Lindsay from thetoastedpinenut.com. Come find me on Instagram at thetoastedpinenut, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!